Okay, in this tutorial we will be making the extension activity of the cup with water in it. And so we're going to be using Autodesk Inventor for this one. So I'm going to double click on Autodesk Inventor. We'll be creating a new part and then using the new part to model a cup and having water in it at a certain capacity. So when this opens up, we're going to click, well, this is what it will look like when it's all done. So we want our cup to appear to have water in it. So this is what it will look like when it's all done. Alright, so we're going to go up here and click New, and I'm going to click a new standard.ipt file. And we're going to start a new sketch. We're going to do the new sketch on the XY plane. Now for this, we're going to just make a sketch that would be half of the cup by using 4 lines. So up in your ribbon, we're going to be using the line function. And we're going to start down here at the XY axis. And I'm going to click once, and then I'm going to stay on the X axis, and I want that line to be 1 inch. So click 1 and be done. I'm going to go back up here, click the line again, and I'm going to go back to where they intersect, the X and Y, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to go straight up on the Y axis to 4 inches. Alright, hit the front button. Now I have a 1 on the X axis, 4 on the Y axis, and now I have a parallel line from the X axis, and that's going to be 1.5. So now I have 3 lines, 1.5 at the top, 1 inch at the bottom, and then a 4 inch up the Y axis. And I'm just going to connect those 2 lines, the 1 and the 1.5, and it's going to turn green right down there at the bottom. With this, now I have the 4 lines. This is half of the cup, and I am finished now with my sketch. So I'm going to click Finish Sketch, and if I click this front button, this is what the sketch should look like. Alright, 4 inch down the Y-axis, 1 inch down the X-axis, 1.5 parallel to the X-axis, and then these 2 lines connected by this diagonal line. Important that these 2 lines right here have to be 90 degrees. These 2 lines right here have to have an angle of 90 degrees. Alright, so now that the sketch is done, we're going to use this revolve button. So I'm going to click revolve. And since this is half the cup, this line right here is the center of my cup, the very, very center of my cup. So I want it to revolve around this line. So I'm just going to click on that line, and it will revolve the cup and say, okay. So if we look at this, now we have a cup that is not hollow, but it's full. So we now have a cup, but not able to drink out of it because it doesn't have a hole in it. So now we're going to go up here to this shell button up on the ribbon. So when I click shell, I want it to cut out the top, and I want to cut out all of the bottom. So if I click on that, this is what it should look like. Okay. Now, I can change the thickness of this to like 0.05 if I want it to be thinner. I could change it to 0.2 if I want it to be thicker. I kind of like it to be a little thinner, so I'm going to put 0.05 and say OK. And now here's my cup. It's a pretty thin cup, but that's what I want. Alright, now that we have this, we are going to try to make it appear to have water in it. So over here in your browser, there's a button called Origin that has all of your planes and all of your axes. So I want to use the XZ plane. So if I right click on it and make it visible, XZ plane, make it visible, it provides us the XZ plane and where it is. Okay. So now I want to move this XZ plane where I want the water amount to be in the cup. So now I have to go up here to plane. I'm going to create a plane using this XZ. So I grab a hold of that and move it. I can move it wherever I would like to show how much water. So I'm just going to go up here. You can put it at any capacity you'd want. So I'm going to put it there and click enter. Now I've got two planes. I have the XZ plane and I have this work plane. I'm going to go to this work plane and I'm going to right click on it and do a new sketch. So on this work plane, I'm going to do a circle. Okay. So again, I'm going to put my circle right in the middle, and then I'm going to go out to the diameter of the inside of the cup, about right there. You kind of see where that color changes right there. And we'll click, and now I have my circle inside the cup. So there it is. Now I want to extrude that circle out. Not that far. We want to extrude it out very, very small. We just want to make it 3D. We want to turn that 2D sketch into a 3D model. So I'm going to say OK. And now this is what we have. Now we have this extrusion in the inside. And now all I have to do is change the appearance of that extrusion on the inside. So now I'm going to go up to Tools, Appearance. I'm going to type in here water, and it'll bring me up several different waters, 3 different waters, and I like the water bubbles, so I'm going to click. I've already clicked on here. This is already highlighted. I'm going to click this arrow, and now it gives us that. So there is our cup with water inside. Now if you want to get rid of these work planes, I just have to come over here to this XZ plane, right click, click visibility. Here's work plane 1, right click, click visibility, and both of those will go away. Now you could change the color of your cup if you would like, but that's how you make it look like it's got water at some sort of capacity in the inside.